Good morning and welcome to Morning Java, brought to you as always by our friends at the Get-Go Cafe and Market, where they are currently celebrating, Carter, Substravaganza.
Substravaganza, ladies and gentlemen. Go get your subs for $4.99. You get a 7-inch sub, any of the subs, your choice, and those subs, they're fresh. Just like Carter right here.
Carter.
I'm just too fresh.
Oh, please.
Yes, sir.
The human segue takes us into Steelers versus Chiefs. And specifically, Patrick Mahomes. He's the guy that you're going to be talking about all around Pittsburgh more than anybody, isn't he?
Yes, Patrick Mahomes. He was their first-round draft pick last year. He has a cannon of an arm. He's not going to be Tyrod Taylor and trying to pick you apart underneath.
He's not going to be Alex Smith either. He's out there game managing, right?
Exactly. He's not going to be. He is going to be throwing deep bombs. They got Sammy Watkins now and Tyreek Hill, who had a monster week one, both as a returner and as a receiver, carving up the Chargers defense. This is really going to test the Steelers' cornerbacks.
Well, it might not just test the Steelers' corners, because it also might test Keith Butler's resolve toward helping those guys out. If you have Cam Sutton one-on-one, as we saw in Cleveland, that can go really good and it can go really bad. And maybe you're going to see more help. Maybe you'll see Mike Hilton going across and assisting, doubling somebody. Maybe Sean Davis will be more active in that role.
Some people think that Tyreek Hill may be the fastest person in the NFL right now because of how quick
All right, so put Darius Hayward-Bay on him.
But the point is, a lot of what happens is either people lose him when he goes on deep balls, or he catches an underneath path and gets loose. I think
solutions.
Tackling. We've been talking about the whiff factor and everything we've been talking about in War Room. This is going to be a huge test. Andy Reid's going to find creative ways to get Tyreek Hill the ball underneath coverage.
So you're conceding the catch, sounds like.
If he's going underneath, let him catch the ball, but you got to bring him down.
Mike Hilton and Sean Davis in particular need to do the job in bringing down their receivers. You know, I can never take analyzing the Chiefs excessively seriously. For the simple reason that every time we lay our eyes on them, meaning facing the Steelers, they stink.
Yeah, I think Andy Reid. Don't quote me on this, because I think they did beat him once when Ben Roethlisberger was out for a week.
Yeah, but
that was against Landry Jones.
Look at. I mean, we talk about Kareem Hunt, the running back. It didn't really do much.
No, they shut him down
against the Steelers.
He was a monster that was mauling. Remember, they were undefeated last year. People were talking about Alex Smith for MVP.
It was out there, Carter. We were out there covering that, and it was not interesting.
They ran through the Patriots in last season, and all of a sudden Pittsburgh came to town.
Boom!
All of that went away.
And I mentioned Kareem Hunt. How about Travis Kelce? Like, everyone talks about, the Steelers traditionally struggle with tight ends.
That stopped being the case.
It stopped being the case, but the meme lives on.
Oh, of course. Well, because of Gronkowski. And everyone thinks that he's just an average tight end.
Gronkowski's not a tight end.
Right.
He's not human.
Exactly, I agree.
But Travis Kelce's never done anything against the Steelers, and he was targeted only once.
Yeah.
Targeted.
I mean,
against the Chargers last week.
Who he probably has a good 6 or 7 inches on, was shutting Travis Kelce down. Sean Davis was taking them out of the play. They even started going to Darren Fells in the end zone when it came to that, and he wasn't making catches because Sean Davis was locking him down. I think right now the Steelers, they know the formula how to beat the Chiefs in a regular way. And right now, if you're looking at the weapons they have on offense, it's still about tackling when they get the ball, but confuse Mahomes. He's young. He's still learning his way in the NFL, and with all those different blitz looks, this offensive line isn't that good yet.
Similar key here. Get in Kelce's head, because there's not a whole lot
Ross
going on.
Ross Cockrell got in his head.
There's not a whole lot
going on. So you think that these guys won't get in his head?
Ross Cockrell, who's this really bright guy, for those of you who don't remember, went right up into Kelce's face, remember?
Yep, drew the penalty.
And, because Kelce went and shoved him and knocked him down, and then it was like...
And he got up clapping. He's like, I did my job. And if Ross Cockrell can get in your head, imagine what Artie Burns or Cam Sutton might do.
Artie Burns' head is next. One thing that impressed me about the Steelers' defense Sunday in Cleveland, and again, all of that comes with gigantic parentheses, because they did face the Browns. They did face Tyrod Taylor, who stinks. By the way, I was right about that.
You weren't right.
You were wrong.
He scored more touchdowns than Ben Roethlisberger.
Who's comparing him to Ben on Ben's worst day? Let's stay with the subject here, Carter. The defense was sharp.
No, on, man. You coming in for Tyrod Taylor. You take away from the Bills, and they got shut out 49-0 or whatever that score was.
Wait a second. Nobody said that the Bills had to replace Tyrod Taylor with a cadaver.
My point is this. I told you that he was the guy that got them to the playoffs last year. Without him, they don't make it. But
the Steelers' defense performed well. I was impressed with them. I was also impressed, maybe more than anything, with their headiness. There were some concerns that I think you and I shared through the summer about whether or not they would be able to handle all this various blitzing and schemes and changing, and they did it. However, Artie lost his mind out there, and he's done that before.
Yes, he has.
What kind of a concern is that?
I mean, you got to look at this guy and say, what's wrong with his emotions? He's obviously, that's the thing that gets to him.
Took his helmet off.
I mean, and it's, I can somewhat forgive the initial, when he got up, he was upset that Jarvis Landry, you pancaked him. There's aggression, there's pride. You throw him to the ground, and you still shouldn't do that. That's inexcusable, but it's like, okay.
Running, talking to Haley.
Right. And then, but then he slams his helmet, and obviously, even if he got away with the first one, you can't get away with the second one.
And I don't like it. I also don't like the fact that he went back to the sideline. He was pouting. Yeah. He was sulking.
And we've seen this before from Artie Burns. When things go bad, it gets to him.
Artie can talk a pretty good game.
Yes, he can.
Okay, and in my dealings with him, he'll say, "I need to learn from Joe Hayden." Okay, you know what? Learn from Joe Hayden.
You've never seen that out of Joe.
Because you won't see that out of Joe Hayden. No. Joe Hayden, he'll get emotional. Yep. And we saw that in Cleveland when he went running toward the dog pound after that pass breakup and everything. It was pretty cool, yeah. They actually wanted no part of him. It's like,
of course not. It's like the honeymoon's over. Like, forget it. You part of the Steelers now.
But Artie's got to cool it.
Yeah,
he just does.
He does. I mean, and you saw this last year a bit. There were times when the game got a little bit past him or he wasn't happy about it. You know how many times Joe Hayden was beat by Antonio Brown? And just sitting in practice, I've seen Antonio Brown talk to Artie Burns and the way he talks to him when he beats him. Imagine what he was saying to Joe Hayden and how that never got Joe Hayden to commit egregious penalties.
Are you kidding me?
So, yes, if Artie Burns, he not only has to improve his technique to be like Hayden, he has to improve his mentality to avoid those plays. Yes.
Among Chiefs who have not performed well against the Steelers, but perform well against a lot of other teams, Justin Houston.
Yes.
And even then, in that context, the Kansas City defense doesn't really look the same anymore. They had real names on that side of the ball.
Back when Tamba Ali was next to Justin Houston, those two were one of the best pass rushing combos in the NFL.
Except against the Steelers.
But
although Tamba Ali would play well against the Steelers.
Oh, man.
But Houston wouldn't.
No, he would, because he was going up against Marcus Gilbert, who would shut him down.
Marcus would eat him alive.
Yes, it would be really bad. What's interesting...
Eat him alive, Marcus, if you're watching. Eat him alive.
There's some coaching right there. Now they got D Ford over there. He was sort of the leader of the defense, if you could say that, last week against the Chargers, whose offense really blew them up. The key concern right now for the Chiefs is the secondary, though. There's no big names in the secondary. They got rid of Marcus Peters because he went to the Rams, so they have no premier cornerbacks. They have Kendall Fuller, whose older brother is the better version of him, and Eric Berry is still not sure when he's going to be back off of injury.
Okay, but you said blew them up. Didn't they blow them up at the line of scrimmage?
They blew them at the line of scrimmage. They blew them up in the air. Phillip Rivers was tossing the ball all over the place.
So this was just a mass explosion.
Yes. The problem is the Chiefs are still looking for an identity on defense. What I will say is they are not confident that these cornerbacks can stick with receivers. What they're going to do is they're going to have their moments where they do run man, but they're going to try and disguise cover two as much as they can.
Tell me why the Steelers wouldn't be able to move the ball against them in either form.
It would. The only reason that I can think of
Don't say Ben's going to have another game like that, because that's not going to happen.
What I want to say is they're going to try and move those safeties a lot. They're going to show, hey, Ben Roethlisberger, we only have one high safety. We're going man.
I don't care about Kansas City. Pittsburgh. How's Pittsburgh going to move the ball on them?
They have to recognize when they're coming out with these fake safety looks, drop back. Don't just bank on your initial read. See what they're doing. The offensive line will give you time. You got to trust this unit. They did a good job in the last game. They're going to do a better job in this game because they don't have to deal with Myles Garrett. And I think that's going to be the key, because Roethlisberger is going to sit in his pocket, be comfortable, and find the spot.
To me, the key is going to be continuing to find ways to get James Conner between the tackle and the guard. Something they did very well, I thought, against Cleveland, in spite of the fact that Cleveland has better players. Oh, my God, I can't believe I said that.
Yeah.
Cleveland has better players up at any position, has better players up front than Kansas City has. So you're not going to get that kind of challenge. There's no Myles Garrett, certainly, on the Chiefs side.
Yep.
Run the ball, keep them honest. Go between the tackles and the guards, the way James was hitting those holes
Yep.
hard. And then, and you know what I'm going to bring up here, that Juju slant.
Yeah, hit the Juju slant. But the thing is, they're not. The Chiefs aren't going to be nearly as aggressive as Greg Williams' Browns defense was in pressing with their corners.
Because they don't have anybody up front.
They got them.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna see is a lot of, they're gonna give you some soft coverage, or if they give you tight coverage, the safeties are coming over top. I think what they're gonna be doing, a lot of what's gonna happen is Ben Roethlisberger is gonna be finding soft spots in the zones, and Antonio Brown or Juju Smith-Schuster, maybe even some James Washington this week, are going to be busting loose. And Vance McDonald's back. There's a lot of chances they're going to miss tackles, and that's going to be the Steelers breaking loose.
The Steelers are going to win this game.